News. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm your co-host, Lillian.
Today we'll be interviewing remarkable students and staff from NUMS Middle School.
First off, we'll be starting with Mr. Belton.
For everything education has to offer, and I really wanted to continue making a difference in the lives of students, and for different ways, different capacities where I could do that and make a difference in kids' lives. And that's really what attracted me to the position. I would describe my leadership style as probably like a listener first. I like to listen to everything that are being brought before me, and then from there work on a way to solve the problem. I tend to seek out as much information as I can before I make any decisions in the building or with students. Relationships with students came first, and if you develop those close relationships with students and also designed lessons that I felt were interesting for students. And so when you create good relationships with students and think about lessons in a way that would pique students' interest, management kind of falls in place. It kind of goes hand in hand. And I found that out fairly early in my career, and that worked for me. So,
wow, very interesting.
Now we'll be looking at the staff's interviews.
I was coaching, and a bunch of teachers that I worked with said I need to become a teacher. So I said, okay. And went back to school for a few years. I was working in a school anyway, and they gave me a first open teaching job after I finished my degree, and started after that. This would be my 10th year. My first teaching job was in Wolf Point, Montana, at Wolf Point Public Schools. 6th grade kids. Then taught there for 6 years and moved here. I think I like reading the best because it makes you guys think. It makes the students think, and I like seeing them do that. And it's just fun to see them read a book they like. I do, and I did. Probably know I can't do it this year. I've already told them. Oh, shocker, sorry. Yes. I just don't have the time this year, but the 8th grade boys are really good. And they'll be really good. But I just enjoy being soccer, tennis, baseball, football, basketball.
Could you tell us a little something about each one?
Well, soccer I played most of my life until I was in the Air Force. And I played on an Air Force team for a couple years. Baseball I played most of my life, so I like coaching it. Tennis came around as I played it, but I never was really into it till I got asked to be a coach, so I did that for 12 years and had a lot of success, a few state champions. Football was junior high football. I was really bad at it because all I know how to do is kick a football. So I will never go back to coaching football again because I'm horrible. That's about it.
I'm Alison and I'm interviewing.
I've been a fax teacher since 1990. And I was in another district for 19 years, and then I took a 5-year break from fax and taught music for 5 years, and this is my 4th year in the Newell district. Well, I like all the areas of fax, but I really enjoy teaching foods and nutrition. I've really enjoyed teaching the sewing class again this year, the STEM sewing. I do actually. I love to cook and I love to bake, and I like to try all kinds of different recipes and foods. I would say sewing is a big hobby of mine. I enjoy sewing gifts for babies, and I enjoy sewing lots of different things. Definitely just keeping things interesting and fresh. I want kids to be interested. I want my students to have fun, but yet I take the learning part of it very seriously. So I think that's always a challenge. Classroom management is different with every group of students, and so that's always something that keeps a teacher challenged. I think it's really important for students to have living skills and to know a lot about nutrition and how, foods that they eat every day keep them healthy and sustainable. And I think it's really good for kids to have child development background and skills as parents, or as the careers that they'll have with children someday. I think it's so important that kids learn from an early age about personal finance. So I think there's some really important things that we use every single day in our lives that are being missed in a lot of homes, or maybe not time to be taught in a lot of homes. And so I think it's really great for students to have opportunities, hands-on projects, and learn things about what's going to make them successful adults and parents and workers.
Why did you decide to become a teacher?
I'm not sure why a teacher, except I've always kind of sort of enjoyed those things. I knew that I like social studies. I've always been curious about the world and the people around me, and I've always been a little bit of a news junkie, so that just came naturally.
Grade level would you prefer, and why?
Well, I'm still getting used to the middle school. I've always taught high school. This is my first year where I've had more than maybe just one section of middle school. I like the subject matter at the high school. I love geography, but I really like history and those other things too. So maybe yet I'm still a high school teacher at heart, but I'm working on becoming a middle school teacher. Well, I grew up in New Ulm, and I graduated from this school, so I'm a New Ulm graduate. I'm an Eagle, and when I went to college, I went to Gustavus, and I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher, and I've always liked southern Minnesota and knew that I wanted to live here. I like to cook, and I like to do stitchery, embroidery and cross stitch, and I like to sew, lots of different things. I would want to know why they're sleeping in the class. Is there something happening that they aren't getting enough sleep at night, or are they not feeling good? I try not to be too harsh about that if it happens. I guess I would want to talk to the student to find out why that's happening. I would guess that probably 3 or 4 days a week there is something that a student needs to do, but most of the time we'll have 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the hour, and often that can be, whatever assignment they have can be completed in that period. So maybe only 1 or 2 days a week would they actually have to take something home to work on. I like a quiet classroom. I'm pretty old-fashioned in that respect. There are times I think class discussions are great and group work is great, but when we're doing whole class work, I expect everybody to be quiet so they can hear each other. I don't get scared real easily. I think I'm concerned about the future, and I'm worried that people aren't going to take education and think about it as importantly as they probably should. That concerns me.
Start over? Okay.
What would you be if you were not a gym teacher?
If I wasn't a gym teacher, I would probably either be active duty military, or like a policeman or a fireman or something like that. Anything like service orientated.
Do you work out?
I do. I work out very often. I lift a lot of weights and I run a lot.
What is it like to be in the Navy?
It's fun, challenging, but I like that aspect of it. I like doing things I know other people can't.
Do you like your job?
I love my job.
Do you like your students?
No. No, I'm just kidding. Most of you guys I like. Some of you I don't, but that just comes with the territory.
My favorite part about teaching would have to be when students really increase their reading or writing skills, and I can see their growth throughout the year. But I think one of the things that really is a highlight for me would be when students get hooked into a book, and I can tell they just can't put it down, and they're sad when the hour ends. I have been teaching for 10 years actually. This is my 10th year, so an anniversary year for me for teaching. It's been a fun ride. I would have to say I haven't always wanted to be a teacher, but reading and writing have always been a big part of my life, and As I kind of journeyed through different areas of my life, I naturally migrated, I guess, to teaching. It seemed like a natural fit for me. I have always taught in New Ulm. I have taught various English classes, 7th through 12th grade. This year I'm only teaching 8th grade, and that's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy 8th grade English. I have been in this area for a long time. I've lived in a lot of different places, but I'm originally from this area and came back to this area because I love it. Well, that would be tough because I have a lot of interest, but if I had to teach another class, I think it would have to be one of 3 areas, either foreign languages like Spanish, or art, or maybe even home ec. That would be fun too.
Been in New Ulm since 1986, so 2 years. I teach 5 through 8, and I have some enrichment, 7 and 8, so doesn't matter. Well, I like any class where the kids kind of get into it and do things on their own. Just had Dewey come in here, and he measured the outside plots for a garden type thing we're going to do this spring. So anytime you can get kids involved. How many pets do I have? Well, I have 1 dog now at home. I used to have 2. One passed away, but I have Willie at home. He's pretty good. He's a Yorkshire Terrier. He thinks he's people. So anyway, he's a pretty good buddy. Well, my favorite subject has always been science, but I apply science in everything I do every day. Favorite thing to do when out of school, being outside, but fishing. In the summer, I do a little bit of hunting, but just being around, being alive. I'm kind of partial to things that they make for brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, family members, grandpas, grandmas, those types of things. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's more or less who they make it for. And whenever they make it, they always put in just a little bit extra effort. And they don't always believe me, but when you take something like that home or when you give it to them, that really means a lot to them. So whether it's something they make, modify, or whatever it is, it's always the tops or the best. How old am I, my dude? I was born in 1959, so you can figure that one out.
I never knew Mrs. Zellier to do that. Now we'll be going to the gym where many of our amazing sports take place.
When did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball when I was 5.
Why did you start playing basketball?
I started playing basketball because my dad encouraged it.
This season?
I've probably improved on defense and being quick.
What is the hardest team you have ever played?
I would say St. Peter because they got a lot of tall guys and they're pretty good.
What moment in the season were you most proud of yourself?
It was the first game I played because I made a 3 and I made a lot of other points for the team.
Do you enjoy playing basketball?
Yeah, it's my favorite sport to do.
What aspect of your game is the most difficult for you to master?
Probably getting by all the tall guys because I'm pretty short.
Yes, could you give someone wanting to play basketball?
I would just join, and if you like it, then you could keep going with it because that's what I did. But if you're not enjoying it, then you could probably find a different sport or you don't want to play it.
What is the most important game you have ever played?
Well, in one tournament, we got second when we were playing for first, and it was a pretty close game.
Prepare for your games.
I kind of just shoot around, warm up, stretch, do some layups and all that.
So you have a coach. How well do you like your coach?
I like him. He's pretty nice. Sometimes his subbing can do better though. Well, my mom, because she always wanted me to play basketball when I was younger, and I finally played. But now my role model is probably Kyrie Irving.
What would you do if you became a famous player?
Well, I'd try to get in like the All-Star game or the finals or the playoffs or something. It'd be pretty cool.
Mad about losing a game, what do you do?
I'm kind of just quiet. I don't really talk to anybody because I'm upset and I'm bummed out, so I don't really say anything.
What exactly do you do when you're off season?
Well, sometimes I go to Vogel with my friends, or I'll have friends over and we shoot out in my driveway or their driveway.
What is the best part of robotics?
The best part of robotics is probably building the robot.
What type of things do you guys do in robotics?
We build the robot and test the robot.
Do you guys compete in robotic competitions?
Yes, we do compete.
Would you say you've done pretty well?
Kind of.
How long have you been in robotics?
2 years.
What made you interested in joining?
Robots.
Are you planning on joining robotics again next year?
Yes, I do plan on joining next year.
What is the best part of robotics?
Probably the building of the robot itself. The thinking process is amazing to me, and the competition is always unique. I mean, it never really went well for us, but yeah.
What type of things do you guys do in robotics?
Okay, the first thing we always do is we plan the robot, then we build it, and we do a lot of testing to see what works. We vote on a lot of stuff. Like, one of the biggest votes this year was use tracks or wheels for the robot.
Do you guys compete in robotic competitions?
Yes, we do. Every year we go to a competition in some random town. Like this year it was in St. Peter. I don't remember exactly where it was last year, somewhere in the cities, but...
How long have you been in robotics?
I just finished my second year.
Can you explain the process of creating a robot?
First, you need a simple basis, which is usually just a square with wheels or tracks. And then this year we put a city sweeper kind of thing to sweep up these small particle balls to push into up a ramp to score points. And then we also put the little arm in the back to push the beacon button.
Are you planning on joining robotics again next year?
I'm thinking about it.
What made you interested in joining?
I've always been into robotics, and just anything that can move on its own in metal, really.
Biggest achievement this year?
My biggest achievement in gymnastics this year would be my improvement on my floor event from 7th grade year to 8th grade year.
How long have you been in gymnastics?
This is my 9th year in gymnastics.
What/who inspired you to do gymnastics?
I just started in kindergarten because they hand out papers in school that I always say, oh, do this and do that. So my mom's like, oh, you want to do gymnastics? So I just did it.
Who's your favorite Olympic gymnast?
My favorite Olympian gymnast would have to be Lori Hernandez because I like her personality on floor.
And what's your favorite event and why?
My favorite event is beam because it's not like a normal event that everyone loves. I just seem to be able, that one just comes the easiest.
What's your biggest achievement this year?
Sticking my aerial on beam.
How long have you been in gymnastics?
I've been in gymnastics since I was 4.
What/who inspired you to do gymnastics?
My mom, because she was in gymnastics throughout high school.
Who's your favorite Olympic gymnast?
Favorite Olympic gymnast is Simone Biles.
What's your favorite event and why?
My favorite event is probably floor because of the music, and I like to tumble.
I'm Miss Cutterlick, and I am the choir director here at Newell Middle School, and I'm also directing the middle school play. It's a great opportunity for a lot of our students to get out and show the skills that they usually get reprimanded for in class because they're being eccentric and fun and witty and joking and things like that. And it's a chance for them to be somebody else. How often do you get to actually pretend to be somebody else? And maybe you're a very quiet person, but you're really good at being a villain. And it really helps students to shine. Really good. We're getting our blocking down, which means all the students are getting their places where they need to go. They're starting to memorize their lines pretty well. Their deadline is next Thursday, so hopefully they have that going. The chemistry on stage is going really well, meaning like the students are working really well together. They're starting to feed off each other's energy, and the students are really coming together with figuring out who they're supposed to put in the play. They are one of a kind, each and every one of them. They're super fun. They love to have fun together. That's the main thing, and that's what I'm really seeing, which is fun to see as a director, but they're working hard. They're memorizing things. They're knowing where they need to go. There's times where I don't even have to tell them what to do because they're just already picking up on all that stuff. So it's just, the students are very interesting to watch, interesting to see, and to see what they do with that character that they're portraying. I think it's gonna go swimmingly. It's gonna go fun. Every show has its mistakes. Every show has something go wrong. But that's what's fun about live performances, is pushing through those mistakes and doing well. But they're gonna do fantastic.
What's the play called?
Dog's Breath, Devereaux the Dastardly Doctor.
What is the play about?
It's about a doctor who is trying to marry this widow for her money, and then he's going to kill her after they get married.
What part of the play are you doing?
I get to be the pregnant woman.
What's it like being a pregnant woman?
It's interesting.
When will people get to see the play?
In April.
What is it like to be part of a production?
It's a lot of fun. I really like working with all the different people in the play.
My favorite part about our basketball season was our team's willingness to improve, because we may not have been the best team, but we still all tried to improve and get better. I play a wing, and I like to play that position because I'm fast and it's easier to get open. Basketball is my favorite sport. It always has been. I like the fast-paced ball handling and when the crowd cheers when you make a basket, I guess. We definitely weren't the best team, but we all had to strive to improve, and we ended up winning some games at the end of the season, and we had fun times in the locker room, and we all improved and got better by the end of the season.
I probably like shooting the most. I just love kind of everything about basketball. Really, since I was able to walk, I've been shooting, but in kindergarten I really kind of started getting better at it. Probably my dad. He really harps on getting better at sports, so he helps me probably the most and influences me the most. Yeah, I for surely will be. I really liked playing with the 8th graders because they really kind of helped us out in what we all did, and it was just a lot more fun to have more girls.
My name is Miss Sandersfeld, and I'm one of the counselors here. Ashton is interviewing me because I'm the advisor for the LGBT club. Currently, we have about 10 students, and that's not including allies. So that's just students that identify with being LGBTQ. We meet every Thursday morning during advisory period. We do lots of different stuff. So usually during the Thursday morning meetings, that's when the students that are part of the club have to come with stuff that they would like to talk about. I mean, it's really kind of a support group, and I think the kids in that group have gotten to become close friends with one another, and so they usually come with topics to talk about, whether it's something that happened to them at school, how they address bullying. Usually every group is different, and it's something that the students come with and want to discuss. They could either come up to me, they could come up to one of the other students if they know of anybody, and they could ask them. Otherwise, they could just show up at our Thursday morning meetings.
So, Ashton, you're an LGBT. What is it about?
Well, LGBT, it stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, and sometimes they throw out a Q for questioning if you don't know what you are. Yeah.
What do those terms exactly mean?
Transgender is, well, in my case, I was born female, but I'm going into being male because my brain was wired as male and then my body was wired as female. So I like how it's like we just support each other, and it's really funny sometimes because we goof off a lot. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
This is my 6th year in wrestling. My favorite part is most of the wins and stuff, like strength and conditioning, and I've placed 2nd in state. That is my best I've ever wrestled. Well, we do a lot of conditioning and work hard. Sometimes we lift in the weight room, and A lot of sprints and running and conditioning, about 6 years.
What's your favorite part about wrestling?
Probably going with the team to other towns. Yeah, I think I placed second in one tournament.
What kind of drills do you do during practice?
We do a lot of sprints, conditioning, live wrestling. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
What do you love most about our school's dance team?
The thing that I like most about our dance team is our teammates.
How long have you been in dance?
10 years.
What is your favorite or best dance skill?
My favorite dance skill is turns.
What is your least favorite thing about dance?
Like the nervous that you feel before competition and when you perform.
Do you like high kick or jazz more, and why?
I like jazz more because I'm not really that sharp for a kick.
What was it like to be on varsity since a 7th grader?
A lot of pressure because you're younger than everybody else.
What do you love most about our school's dance team?
Well, it's very fun and all the people on the team are very nice.
How long have you been in dance for?
Well, this is my first year doing dance. So.
What is your favorite or best dance skill?
The splits.
What is your least favorite thing about dance?
Dope. I don't like working out. It's too hard.
Uno, dos, tres. Oh man, a wrong foot.
My name is Tate Schollinger from the Cougar House.
And what makes your house special?
Fishing.
Hi, my name is Lillian Fred. I'm from the Cougar House.
And what makes your house so special?
The fact that there's 7th and 8th graders on the house team.
Tyson Hudd, I'm in the Maverick house.
And what makes your house so special?
Well, first of all, I'm in it. And then we've got the best science and math teacher, Mr. Mahold, and Miss Woodbury, no offense, Mr. Matson and Miss Tiger. And it's just a fun house because we got a lot of 8th graders.
Hi, I am Lizzie from the Mavericks house.
And what makes your house so special?
Probably all the unique people in the house.
Okay, my name is Morgan Ramweiler and I'm in the Husky house.
And what makes your house so great?
The teachers are really nice and dedicated to their jobs. This is Brooklyn Hegberg and I'm in the Husky house.
And what makes your house so great?
Teachers are nice. They don't give out a lot of homework.
I'm Emily and I'm from the Mustang house.
And what makes your house so great?
How everybody here is so ridiculously crazy, and that's fun.
I'm Aaron Hauser and I'm from the Mustang house.
And what makes your house so great?
The people in it and how crazy they are.
My name is Matthew. I'm in the Dragon house.
And what makes your house so great?
I have puppies.
My name's Anthony and I'm in the Dragon's house.
And what makes your house so great?
We have a mix of 5th graders and 6th graders.
Hi, my name is Ethan Dake and I am from the Gopher house.
And what makes your house so great?
Well, we tend to work together a lot and we just kind of fall into sync with each other.
My name is Shakira Klaus and I'm from the Gopher house.
And what makes your house so great?
The teachers are amazing.